Hi, Stanley. I hope you're doing good. Today on the Underground Music Production Group, there's a discussion which is talking about a concept of master tempo. And if you're a producer and you're making music, you're doing your best to get your quality as good as you can be. And you're choosing a particular musical key because that's how you want your track to be. Now, in the context of a DJ has a turntable, and the modern turntables are digital, so they have a USB key that plays your file. And if someone wants to blend your track in with somebody else's, they need to match the tempo of the two songs. So to do that, they can use the slider to take the pitch up or down. And depending on the setting, that does a number of different things. And so if you have master tempo on, what it does is that when you speed it up or slow it down, the pitch remains the same. Now, those who like harmonic mixing, like the ability to understand the key of a song that they know, and then also to know the key of another song and use that to blend things together musically. The other option is to take master tempo off, and then when you move your pitch slider, what happens is literally it does go higher or lower in pitch, right? So as you take it higher in pitch, it plays faster. Lower in pitch, it plays slower, which is just like a record used to be. So there are different opinions, and it's pretty even at the moment on the group in terms of votes as to who prefers what. But I thought it would be quite a good exercise to demonstrate to you what it means and what it sounds like. I'm not going to do the master tempo equivalent because that's quite obvious. It's just going to be faster or slower at the same pitch. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use Ableton Live to simulate how it would be on a record deck, so we can listen and see how it sounds at the faster tempo higher pitch and the slower tempo lower pitch, because there's a really interesting vibe coming out. My personal take on this is that when I'm composing music, I'm so used to hearing it in the same way for so many times. In some respects, I might get a bit bored of it. But when I hear DJs playing the track and blending it at different pitches, I love the idea because it means that I hear the thing that I put together, but with a slightly different vibe. I generally do prefer it a little bit faster if I'm hearing it. But it's interesting. We'll go on a journey, we'll see. And so to simulate this, what I've got is a track here. This is on the forthcoming EP that's coming out on the 24th of June. It's a track called On My Mind. And what I've done here is I've set in Ableton Live the warp mode to repitch. So what it's doing is it behaves exactly the same way as a record deck. So let's have a listen. This is originally at 125.
I need a reason why you're always on my mind. I feel like I can fly. You're always on my mind.
So that's the original tempo, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that faster. We'll take it up. So I'm going to go to 128 BPM, and it's going to be higher in pitch.
I need a reason why you're always on my mind. I feel like I can fly. You're always on my mind.
There's something about that 128 tempo that I really like, despite the fact that I deliberately put it at 125. So if someone's hyping it up a bit, playing tracks that are slightly faster, getting the pitch higher, there's something that I really like about that. So that's taking it a few BPM up. Let's take it down. Let's see what it sounds like. Maybe about 118.
I need a reason why you're always on my mind. I feel like I can fly. You're always on my mind.
This is an absolutely fascinating experience because I'm hearing my own composition in a totally new way, radically different. I love that. I love the pitch. And I think for me, I've been a fan of things like where there are micro-tuning changes in compositions. If you listen to someone like Jacob Collier, he's always using micro-tuning to create slight detuned variations of things. I love that. And so for me to hear this stuff that was originally a sort of kind of dead pitch to be twisted in different ways, up or down, that's amazing. I love that. That was great. Let's go for a real extreme. I'm not going to suggest we try drum and bass out of this, but let's go to that kind of tempo, 170 BPM.
I need a reason why you're always on my mind. I feel like I can fly. You're always on my mind.
That's a bit too extreme, but it's just really showing you this whole concept of you take the speed up, the pitch goes up, so that's what's happening. And this is the old school way with the turntables. I'm going to take that really, really, really slow. Let's take it maybe about 100. I'm really curious to see how that feels. Let's do one more.
I need a reason why you're always on my mind. I feel like I can fly. You're always on my mind.
Now that's the upper end or the lower end of the scale. And that was a little bit too slow, but I did really enjoy that. That had this kind of almost disclosure kind of vibe to it. And it sounded like the singer had changed from a female to a male. That was interesting. The chords sounded thicker. And of course, that's a thing to consider. If you're doing this, if someone's taking the pitch down, it's going to become bassier. All right, that's something to think about. If you take it higher in pitch, it's not going to be as bassy. So there are all of these considerations. But I thought it'd be good to share these kind of feelings and experiences with you relative to that conversation going on in the group. I love the sound of some of that stuff. But anyway, it's great because I'm particularly excited about this track. Which is getting some fantastic responses from DJs at the moment. So yeah, this comes out. It's Danny J. Lewis, On My Mind, coming out on 24th of June. And that's going to be on Traxsource. It's going to be streaming everything, okay? But if you want to buy it as a download to DJ with, Traxsource is the best place. Okay, that's it. All right, take care.
I need a reason why